Hey, I'm meteorologist Doug Myers with the latest look at your forecast on this Friday. Thursday's high temperatures in the upper 80s and low 90s, 81 in Marysville, and I think we are in the mid 80s for today. At the very least, we have the cloud cover this morning. Some areas a little bit of light rain. Otherwise, we'll have a little bit more sun by the afternoon, but it's going to be the coolest day that we'll have for the rest of the month, so take advantage of it. It's also going to come with lower humidity. Now, we're not talking about fall-like humidity values. We're just talking about low 60s. That's an improvement from the 70s that we had even from yesterday before we had those dew points dropping. So it is going to be much nicer, a little bit more comfortable with the mid 80s that we'll have for today, very similar to what we had on Wednesday. But remember, Wednesday we had those high dew points in the 70s. So that's going to be the biggest difference from Wednesday to what we'll have for today. Here's a quick check of our drought monitor, which updated yesterday. You can see that much of the state is in some sort of drought, including here in northeast Kansas. Of course, we did have that rain on Friday of last week with those storms rolling through. But since then, hasn't been a whole lot of rainfall. And rainfall since Sunday, we've had rain mainly northeast of Topeka in the northeastern section of our viewing area, and then areas south of I-35. Not expecting a whole lot of rainfall for this morning, and that's more so due to I'm not really expecting much in the way of thunderstorms that will be producing heavy rainfall. And so obviously I'm not expecting severe weather today, but tomorrow, we may get a few storms that could have a little bit of a hail and wind threat. Still not a high chance. I still think locally heavy rainfall and lightning are going to be the primary concerns, but we'll keep an eye on tomorrow. As far as today is concerned, we will have a gradual decrease in cloud cover for this morning and giving us mostly sunny skies this afternoon. And then for tomorrow, the latest supercast does show that we could have some isolated showers and thunderstorms for some areas during the day. You'll notice that the vast majority of northeast Kansas does remain dry with mostly sunny skies before we get into this line of storms that begins around 7 o'clock and then quickly pushes through the area through midnight. And so that's going to be the main focus during the evening hours of your Saturday, which could have an impact on potential outdoor plans that you might have. Again, nothing overly heavy with the rainfall, even if some areas could get some locally heavy rain, but it's not going to be a widespread heavy rain. And here's a look at some of the other computer models through Sunday morning, and you'll notice that the graph there, our in-house computer model in the top left shows a little bit heavier rain. The GFS also a little bit heavier rain. But generally speaking, there's not going to be a whole lot of heavy widespread rain across the area. There will be a little bit of an uneven distribution. So there's still some opportunity for specific details to be able to get fine-tuned, especially on whether or not we actually do get storms tomorrow morning. And how widespread will that be? And whether or not, if we do get storms, obviously we'll have to monitor that, but also is the cloud cover going to have an impact on later storms in the afternoon and evening on how widespread it would be and how severe it would be. So that's going to play a huge factor as far as what happens for the second half of the day, what happens in the morning. That's going to be something to watch for. Otherwise, we have basically a dry weather pattern Sunday into next week. There might be a brief shower thunderstorm here and there at times next week, but for the most part, it is expected to be dry, very, very hot. If there's any silver lining to next week, the humidity isn't going to be terrible, and so heat index values aren't going to be too out of control, maybe up to 110 worst case scenario. We've dealt with that many times when we've had these hot temperatures, but one of the reasons why we're able to get these type of actual air temperatures in the triple digits is because the humidity isn't going to be too terribly high. Remember, the higher the humidity, the harder it is for temperatures to actually be warmer. Versus the higher humidity, we may be a bit cooler. But at the end of the day, we're talking about heat index values that could range between 105 to 110 for much of next week. So be prepared for that. We are looking at a prolonged period of heat that not only lasts us through next Friday, but could potentially last us through the rest of the month. So enjoy these next 3 days. Enjoy it. Take advantage of it. But be weather aware, especially tomorrow with that storm chance. Have a great day and a great weekend.